You ever look at your paycheck one day and think, wait, where did all my money go? Like you're working hard, showing up every day, doing everything right, and somehow your bank account still looks like it's allergic to growth. Well, let me just say this. That's not bad luck. That's a setup. Basically, you've got 10 wealth killers working behind the scenes, draining your wealth while you're too busy trying to build it. And here's the worst part. You don't even notice them because they don't look dangerous. They look normal. They sound reasonable. They feel earned. But these habits are quietly wrecking your financial future. And if you don't catch them now, you'll end up stuck in the same loop forever. So let's expose them. These are the top 10 wealth killers you must avoid at all costs. And trust me, the last one might just explain why most people never get rich. Wealth killer number 1, lifestyle inflation, the silent thief of freedom. Here's how this one works. You finally get that raise or a better job, and immediately your brain says, I deserve nice things. Suddenly, your $30 dinner turns into $60, your Toyota turns into a BMW, and your $1,200 rent becomes $2,000 because I can afford it now. What just happened? You didn't upgrade your life. You just upgraded your bills. Lifestyle inflation is what keeps middle-class people middle-class forever. They keep raising their cost of living to match their income. So no matter how much they make, they stay broke on a bigger scale. Think of it like this. You're running on a treadmill, and every time you move faster, someone cranks up the speed. You never get ahead, you just get tired faster. The rich don't upgrade their lifestyle when income increases. They upgrade their assets. The poor buy more comfort, the rich buy more control. Remember, every treat yourself moment is either a reward or a trap disguised as one. But while lifestyle creep quietly drains your wallet, the next wealth killer doesn't just take your money, it takes your freedom and chains it to interest payments. Wealth killer number 2, debt, the master of disguise. Debt looks friendly. It smiles. It says, hey, I'm just here to help you out. But behind that smile is a set of golden handcuffs. Every time you swipe that credit card, you're not buying something. You're renting it from your future self with interest. Here's what the banks don't tell you. They love responsible people because responsible people pay on time for decades. That $5,000 balance, you'll pay $9,000 back over time. And they'll thank you for being such a loyal customer. You see, debt doesn't destroy you overnight. It just quietly redirects your wealth into someone else's pocket. The rich use debt to make money. The poor use debt to look rich. You buy a depreciating car with a loan. They buy a cash-flowing asset with leverage. Same word, debt. Totally different outcome. For example, a $30,000 car loan at 7% interest equals around $600 per month. Invest that same $600 monthly into an index fund averaging 8%. In 10 years, $110,000. You didn't just buy a car, you bought a six-figure mistake. So here's your rule. If debt doesn't make you money, it's not leverage, it's a liability. Cut it, kill it, never romanticize it. But even if you stay debt-free, there's one wealth killer that still drains your future. And it doesn't take a dime from your wallet. It takes something far more valuable. Wealth killer number 3, procrastination. The thief of compound interest. Procrastination is like a slow financial leak. You don't feel it at first, but over time, it quietly floods your entire future. People love saying, I'll start when I'm ready. But here's the problem. Money doesn't care if you're ready. It only rewards whoever started earlier. Think of compound interest like a snowball rolling down a hill. The sooner you push it, the bigger it gets. Wait too long, and by the time you start rolling yours, the other guy already has an avalanche. Or think of time like gravity. The longer your money is in motion, the stronger it pulls more money toward it. Procrastinators? They're floating in space, waiting for momentum that never comes. Every year you delay, your dollars lose muscle. They're not growing. They're sitting on the bench while inflation runs laps around them. You don't need the perfect time to start. Waiting for the right time to invest is like waiting for the ocean to stop moving before you learn to swim. The rich don't wait to feel confident. They build confidence by doing. The broke wait to get their life together and end up watching years evaporate like mist. So here's the truth. You don't get rich because you made a perfect move. You get rich because you made a move. Money loves motion. Procrastination kills it. But even worse than waiting is thinking you're making progress when you're actually stuck. And that's exactly what the next wealth killer does. It keeps you busy, broke, and blind to what's really happening. Wealth killer number 4, distraction, the productivity illusion. Distraction is the new poverty. And the worst part? It doesn't feel like destruction. It feels like activity. You're busy, you're learning, you're researching, but deep down, you're just scrolling in circles, like a hamster on Wi-Fi. We live in a world designed to rob you of focus. Every notification, every limited time deal, every YouTube recommendation, it's all engineered to hijack your attention. Your phone isn't a tool anymore. It's a slot machine, and your attention is the jackpot. Every time you check it, someone else gets paid. The rich understand this. They guard their focus like it's gold. Because it is. The broke treat focus like spare change. They give it away to whoever asks. You don't get rich by knowing more. You get rich by doing more with what you know. Your brain is like a flashlight, pointed at one thing. It's powerful enough to burn through obstacles. Wave it around everywhere, and it barely lights up the room. When you split your attention, you split your results. You can't build wealth if your focus resets every 10 seconds. That's like trying to fill a bucket full of holes. No matter how much you pour in, it never fills up. And the crazy part? Distraction feels productive. You're watching motivational videos, taking notes, saving quotes, but nothing's changing because you're stuck in preparation mode. You're over-consuming, under-executing. You're addicted to the idea of self-improvement. Meanwhile, time's ticking. The rich use focus to build leverage. The distracted use dopamine to feel progress. So if you want to escape distraction, treat your attention like money. Spend it where it multiplies. Invest it in what compounds. And stop giving it away for free, because your attention determines your direction. And right now, most people are headed straight for broke. But please, I have to pause the video right now and explain something to you. Most people will watch and don't apply anything I'm telling you. And it's not just this video. We've created specific videos and playlists that'll literally guide your wealth-building journey to financial freedom. Go back and watch our Stealth Wealth series after this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel. But anyways, keep in mind, distraction doesn't just waste your time. It rewires your brain to crave the wrong rewards. And that's exactly how the next wealth killer traps you. Wealth killer number 5. Instant gratification. The dopamine trap. Instant gratification is the reason most people stay broke, because your brain's chasing pleasure while your future self is begging for discipline. Because let's be real, we've become dopamine junkies with Wi-Fi connections. You get a notification? Dopamine. You order Uber Eats? Dopamine. You buy something on Amazon and track it 5 minutes later? Dopamine overdose. You're not buying products anymore. You're buying chemical hits. And here's the scary part. Your brain starts to expect rewards instantly. So anything that requires patience feels wrong. Saving feels boring. Investing feels slow. Building something long-term feels like punishment. That's how society keeps you stuck. Hooked on convenience, allergic to consistency. Think of your brain like a spoiled kid. The more you give it what it wants right now, the less it listens when you need it to wait. The rich understand the opposite game. They trade short-term pleasure for long-term peace. They don't chase dopamine, they delay it. Because every time you delay gratification, your reward grows exponentially. It's compound interest for your self-control. Just imagine you plant a tree. You water it daily. Nothing happens for months. Then one day, boom. Shade, fruit, life. That's long-term reward. But instant gratification? That's cutting down the tree for firewood because you got cold for 5 minutes. Or think of it like fitness. You can't get abs from one workout, but you can get fat from one impulsive decision, over and over again. Same with money. It's not the $200 splurge that kills you, it's the repetition of $200 mistakes, disguised as, I deserve this. Real-world example. Let's say you spend $20 every day on takeout and random Amazon junk. That's about $7,000 a year. If you invested that instead, at 8%, that's $100,000 in 10 years. Congratulations, that daily dopamine hit cost you 6 figures. Instant gratification is a silent assassin. It makes you feel good today while destroying tomorrow's options. The rich aren't immune to temptation. They just built systems that reward patience. They don't crave now, they crave later, because now makes you broke. Later makes you rich. So here's your test. Every time you feel the urge to spend, ask, am I feeding my future or just feeding my feelings? Your answer determines your bank account. But even if you master your impulses, there's a deeper layer to this whole game. Because the next wealth killer doesn't live in your wallet, it lives inside your mind. And if you don't fix this one, no amount of budgeting or investing will ever save you. Wealth killer number 6, poor money mindset. Here's the cold truth. You don't rise above your mindset. You live inside it. Your money situation right now, it's just a mirror of how you think, talk, and feel about money. If you secretly believe money is evil, your brain will sabotage every opportunity that might make you more of it. Why? Because it's trying to protect you from becoming what you hate. You can't attract what you resent. You can't grow what you fear. That's why broke people stay broke. Not because they're dumb, but because they've been programmed to feel guilty about wanting more. Society trained you to worship the hustle but hate the reward. Work 40 years? Noble. Get rich in 4 years? Suspicious. That's a poverty operating system, and most people are still running it. Put it like this: your mindset is like your phone's software. You can install all the new apps, new job, new side hustle, new investment strategy, but if your software is outdated, everything still crashes. You can't build millionaire results on broke person code, and that code shows up in your language. I can't afford that. I'm not good with money. I just want enough to get by. Those aren't words. They're financial curses. Every time you say them, your brain starts looking for evidence to prove them true. Meanwhile, wealthy people speak differently. They say, "How can I afford it? What would it take to make this happen? What skill or asset could solve this problem?" They ask expansive questions, not defensive ones. Poor mindset people look for limits. Rich mindset people look for leverage. And here's the twist. Money doesn't change you. It amplifies you. If you're generous when you're broke, you'll be even more generous when you're rich. If you're careless with $100, you'll be a disaster with $100,000. Money exposes your mindset. It doesn't fix it. So if you don't rewire your beliefs first, you'll keep hitting invisible ceilings. Every time you make progress, you'll subconsciously find a way to reset back to comfortable. You'll call it bad luck, but it's really self-sabotage disguised as humility. The wealthy know something most people don't. Money flows to people who respect it, not worship it. They don't see it as status. They see it as a tool, a lever for freedom, time, and control. So here's your test. When you see someone driving a Lamborghini, do you feel inspired or annoyed? That reaction tells you everything about your relationship with wealth, because envy blocks abundance. Respect attracts it. If you want to fix your finances, stop focusing on your wallet. Start upgrading your mindset settings. But even if you fix how you think about money, there's a dangerous trap that still catches millions of smart people, because it pretends to be the responsible thing to do, while quietly making you poorer every year. Wealth killer number 7, oversaving and underinvesting. This one hurts because it feels responsible. You save money, you stack cash, you think you're doing the right thing. But in today's world, saving too much is financial self-sabotage. Inflation quietly eats away your money every year, and while your bank pays you 0.5%, prices go up 4%. You're losing purchasing power even while your account balance looks fine. For example, $10,000 today buys what $6,700 will in 10 years. That's a 33% pay cut for doing nothing wrong. The wealthy don't hoard cash, they move it. They treat money like soldiers, send them out to bring back more money. They save for emergencies. They invest for everything else. But even if you're investing, there's another wealth killer that locks people into a lifetime of exhaustion. Wealth killer number 8, trading time for money forever. If you only get paid when you show up, you don't have income. You have a time rental agreement. Most people never escape it. They get addicted to the safety of a paycheck, not realizing it's the most expensive safety net in the world. You trade 40 hours a week for 40 years so someone else can trade your results for profit. And put it this way, if you build an asset, a course, a YouTube channel, real estate, or a digital product, you can make money while you sleep. Because passive income isn't a myth. It's the natural result of building something that works when you don't. The poor chase hours, the rich chase systems. But even if you start building wealth, you might still lose it if you're surrounded by the wrong people. Wealth killer number 9, keeping the wrong people around. Your income will always reflect the average of your 5 closest friends. If your circle talks about Netflix, football, and gossip, guess what you'll talk about? But if your circle talks about business, investments, and opportunities, you'll level up by accident. Environment beats motivation every single time. It goes like this. Hang out with spenders, you'll start spending. Hang out with investors, You'll start investing. If you're trying to build wealth but your friends keep pulling you back into broke habits, you don't have friends, you have financial anchors. Cut the dead weight. Surround yourself with people who normalize winning. And now, the deadliest wealth killer of them all. The one that quietly destroys 99% of people. Even the ones who know all this stuff already. Wealth killer number 10. Inaction. Knowing but not doing? Let's be real. You don't need another video telling you to invest, save, or budget. You already know what to do. But knowing doesn't make you rich. Doing does. People binge self-improvement content like Netflix, but never apply it. They confuse inspiration for implementation. Information without execution is just entertainment. Money rewards action, not potential. Stop waiting for perfect. Stop planning the right moment. The right moment is when you start, because the longer you wait, the more expensive waiting becomes. Each and every one of these quietly robs your future while you think you're doing fine. But once you start removing them, everything changes. You start keeping more of what you earn. You invest earlier. You buy freedom instead of flexes. And your money finally starts working for you. Remember, wealth doesn't scream. It doesn't need validation. It moves in silence and speaks through results. Comment the words stealth wealth below if you're done letting these wealth killers control your life. And if you're ready to rebuild your financial life the smart way, watch the next video. Why 99% of Americans never get rich. The 9-to-5 trap. It's the perfect next step after this because real freedom isn't about looking rich. It's about quietly becoming unstoppable. Just click the video on the screen and we'll see you in the next one.